Hey everyone, this is gsndome.com and I'm here with the HTC Titan. This is one of the first Windows Phone Mango devices. So it's got Windows Phone 7.5, the newest release, also called Mango. As you can see, this is a huge device, especially if you compare it to my palm. It's got a 4.7-inch display. That's the biggest you'll find nowadays, unless you count the Samsung Galaxy Note. That it's even bigger. As you can see, it's pretty hard to cover it with my fingers. And now let's move on to the design. For one, you need to know that although this device is big, it's also pretty thin at 9.9 millimeters. It also weighs a huge 160 grams. And the display is an SLCD, so don't expect any AMOLED love here. The resolution is 480 over 800 pixels. As usual for Windows Phone devices. It's got Dolby Mobile sound, thanks to the speaker right here. Pretty impressive sound, I have to admit that. It's also got 16 GB of memory, internal, 512 MB of RAM. The connectivity is HDPA, Wi-Fi, DLNA, Bluetooth, the usual. The camera is an 8 megapixel one, with autofocus, LED flash, geotagging, 720p video, and other stuff like that. There's also 1.3 megapixel camera up front, and the brain of the device is a 1.5 GHz single core Scorpion CPU. The screen is pretty clear and crisp, as you can see right here, the colors are bright, and the battery is a lithium-ion 1600 mAh battery. But enough about the specs, let's see the design. We got a huge display with 4.7-inch diagonal. We've got the usual 3 capacitive buttons below the screen. At the bottom we have the case unlocking mechanism, like this sensation. On the left side we have the micro USB port. On the right side we have the volume buttons and the camera button right here. While on the upper side we have the on-off button and the audio jack. At the back, the flash, the dual LED flash, the camera and the speaker, and also this Windows Phone logo. So that's the design. Now let's move to the OS. As I said, Windows Phone 7.5 Mango. In case you're wondering what it brings, well, among other, it brings Internet Explorer 9 with desktop functionality. That means it supports HTML5, CSS3, XHTML, and it's also got a nice redesign. As you can see, the address bar is at the bottom instead of being up, and these are the tabs. Let me just add a new tab and load our website. It's pretty hard to get accustomed to the address bar being at the bottom. People are used to having it up, but maybe this is the future. So here's gsndome.com, it loaded fast. Now let's see it in landscape and see how it handles some scrolling. Of course, the characters are shown great, the text is shown great on this huge display. I wasn't expecting problems here. Pinch to zoom works just fine. And other things I must mention about Windows Phone Mango is that it brings a multitasking system. You just press the back button, and here we are with the multitasking. It's pretty cool. These are the apps that I have open. Don't imagine that I can swipe to remove them. I can't do that. All I can do is, for example, enter our page, press back, and it's practically closed. Well, other changes from Windows Phone 7 to Windows 7.5. The hardware acceleration from the browser. Also, the tiles are more dynamic, the tiles from the OS. Bing has got new features that you'll see immediately. For one, there's this Bing Music that will detect a song. Let me just use the HTC Sensation XE, play a song, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now I'm playing a song on the Sensation XE, and Bing Music will recognize it. Rocket Empire, See Me Speak. so it recognizes it. It's a pretty good Shazam replacement. I can go to the marketplace straight from here, buy the song, buy the album. Another thing that we have is Bing Vision that I'll show you immediately. Let me just take this cover of a pretty cool game, Borderlands, stick it right here and try to use Bing Vision on it. Let's hope that it will find the text. It found some portions of the text. You can translate it, let's say to French, but I doubt anything useful will come out of this. It's not very precise yet, this algorithm. You can also scan QR codes and other stuff like that. Of course there's voice search in Bing, but that was always here. Find me a taxi. My English isn't good, and this Bing search with voice is also not very good. Okay, enough about this. The changes on the aesthetic level aren't big in Windows Phone Mango. There is this eternal scrolling list of apps, the tiles that you have right here, the main tiles. Other things is changed. Mango, it has a unified inbox, it has groups of contacts, you can save your camera settings finally, and we have Twitter integration in the People Hub. It integrates Facebook and Twitter together. You can see immediately. Let's go to the Me Hub and I'll see that I was mentioned in a tweet, so I have Twitter integration all the way. So this is a pretty cool thing about Mango. There's also internet sharing in Mango. And now it's time to check out the media features of the device. For one thing, let's go to Zune, play some music, listen to some of Noel Gallagher's work, and see how loud the volume is. Okay, we're rid of this audio task. Let's see what else is in Zune. What's cool is that it remembers the stuff you've seen recently, the music you listened to, the videos you watched, also the YouTube videos you watched. So that's pretty cool. Just like the gallery remembers the Facebook photos you've taken. It's also got save pictures. You can save stuff from the map. You can see other people's pictures, what they posted on Facebook. So this integration with social networking is pretty cool. As you can see, I'm having problems of using a single hand on this device. Now let's see the calling area. It's just like before, nothing fancy. This is the people area with what's new on Facebook and Twitter. These are the groups that I talked about. You have family and work in my case, where you can group several people. Another tile is the messaging one that has threads and what's happening online. Here I can select to become available for chat on Facebook, for example. We also got the inbox with several options, and now I'll show you the HTC Hub, which includes the weather in several areas of the globe. This is my area right now. Very cool effects. We also have some featured applications on this device, some news from CNN.com and Yahoo News, some stocks, and pretty basic stuff. So this is the HTC Hub. We also have the HTC Watch. This one offers you movies. You probably know it since you've seen our other reviews. But this is a good way to see how the playback of this device does when it comes to video. but I guess we'll have to use YouTube for that. So let's move on to YouTube and see an HD video on this huge screen. It would be a pity not to. HD. Let's try to find something striking. Doesn't seem to be anything impressive. Assassin's Creed Revelations looks like a good idea, so let's see it in HD. You got the gist of it, I guess. The HD playback looks great, even on this resolution. So let's see what else can interest you. Of course we have the Xbox Live, with all the games I downloaded, all the games that are famous right now, and this is my profile. Haven't tweaked it yet, but you can use a wig, a sweater, or make it look like you, that avatar. Of course there is the marketplace around here. Here it is, where you can find apps from HD. Usually you'll find Halloween stuff in this period of time. I also installed a Halloween game. Of course we have the calendar. You can see there are tons of items right here. Those in mauve are those from Facebook. You also have my Google Calendar in the same calendar. The Google, Facebook and Hotmail account calendar. So it's cool to have 3 calendars in one. Other than that, now let's see the camera. Of course there are the notes available here from HTC in case you're wondering. So here they are. Sleep at 9 and other stuff. As I said, let's look at the camera, but first I'm going to need a volunteer. Here's what I'm talking about. And this is the camera that handles pictures pretty well. As I said, now you can save the settings, and now let's see some of the settings. We have scenes, effects, panorama shots, burst shot, the resolution, white balance, brightness, contrast, saturation, ISO and other stuff like that. So nothing fancy, nothing big, but still a very good camera. Probably the best camera on a Windows Phone device I have ever seen till now. The 720p capture is good. And other stuff I have here, let me see. I've installed Google Maps since Bing Maps didn't quite make it for me. Here's Bing Maps. Not so happy with the way it works. Still missing the good old Google Maps. I want more detail, but maybe just me. Also, the local scout doesn't work in my area, so not much use for me. Of course, there's Office with integrated Office 365 support, with the usual Word, Excel and PowerPoint support. Can create a new table if you want. Excel for mobile, functions. And now it's time for a bit of a Halloween game, since it's the Halloween these days. And in case you're watching these days later, keep in mind that it was Halloween time when I showed you this. Okay, let's try to show it. Pumpkin Smash. I have to say that this is a very big device, so if you're used to small devices you won't like it, but the camera is very good. Windows Phone is a very easy OS, and if the price of this device goes down, it's a pretty nifty alternative. This is the way you can crush zombies. Here's how you strike them. A pretty nice Halloween game overall. They're screaming brains like in Plants vs Zombies. Okay, let's quit the game. As you can see, multitasking is done easily Right now I have another game open, as shown right here in the multitasking section. Let's see what else I didn't show you. I've shown the calendar, Xbox Live, a bunch of pictures that I have taken, not very impressive. I also have a photo enhancer that HTC provided with this phone. Let's say I choose the picture I've taken earlier and want to enhance it. There's auto enhancing, cinnamon, high contrast, sepia, overexposed, glimmer, twilight, and other stuff I can do to pictures. Of course there's connected media, Google Mail as I said, and I have installed some maps. This is the Google Maps I was talking about, G-Maps, in a very original presentation. It shows me the weather above the town I'm in. You can change map view if you want, use Google Latitude. Now I have selected satellite mode, but it's taking a while to load. You can see the sun here since it's showing me the weather, but it's taking a while to load the map. Maybe in landscape it will work, and it does. These are some landmarks that I searched for. So it's a pretty cool app for navigation, if you ask me. Now let me show you some other apps. There's this one, body language translator. Choose an appropriate pose for someone. Head turned downwards, head looking straight. Normal leg position, spread legs. This person is confident. Let's see a male sitting like this. Person is confident with a neutral attitude. So it's good to know how people are feeling based on their pose. Other things I want to show you, there's an Indian recipe app. It's pretty basic. You can search them, use favorites. You have categories of food. You got salad. Here's how to make it. Methods, comments. You can favorite it if you want. Once again in the picture section, you can select albums. This one was taken from my Facebook account. And now let's see what else I have available for you to show. It's very annoying, this list of apps. I hope they do something with it in the next update. I mean the Tango update, as it's rumored to be called. Another interesting app is SkyMap. We've seen something similar on Google, on Android. But this one is cool also. You can watch the sky and see the zodiac signs, see all sorts of stuff, constellations. There are tons of options right here. You can adjust the map. You can see what each sign in the sky means, with height, magnitude, satellite stuff. Disable point to sky to see this. Very nice constellations. So it's a nice experience. Now I'm going to end with a game with cool graphics that reminds me of the Xbox experience. Jet car stunts for Windows Phone. This makes the device a true and real iPhone rival. Let's take the volume down a bit. This is all about the stunts. I've lost my way, it seems. Let's try a more different approach this time. This game looks fun, funny than anything you ever find on Android these days. And the last try before I give you the final verdict about the phone. I failed. I think you suck at this. Okay guys, so the HTC Titan, it's a pretty good Windows phone. It's a pretty good phone for a Windows phone, if you know what I mean. It's hard to handle with one hand. It's a huge device. It's great. It's got great multimedia abilities, but it's very pricey at the moment. The screen is very big if you're used to a small handset with a 3.5-inch display or something like that. At least the battery is pretty good. The media features are nice, synchronization works relatively fast, and the gaming experience, as you saw, is nice. On the downside, the list of apps is huge. The Mango improvements aren't very impressive, but at least you have a unified inbox and other stuff like that on the handset. So if you want a solid Windows Phone device, either wait for a cheaper one, buy a smaller one, or take this. I for one would wait for the Nokia Lumia devices, since they sound pretty good. Bye bye.